You hear it commonly said to not care what others say about you. I would contend that what some people say about a person matters, and certainly what the enemies think of a person gives you their sense of importance. Considered during his time as the father of the American Revolution, let's look at some of the things said about Samuel Adams. Woodrow Wilson said, "He was the sort of man and orator whose ascendancy may mean revolution almost when he chooses." Thomas Jefferson called him the patriarch of liberty. Jefferson also wrote of Adams' veiled control of Congress. "I always considered him, more than other members, the foundation of our more important measures. If there was a helmsman to the Revolution, Samuel Adams was the man. Indeed, in the Eastern States, for a year or two after it began, he was truly the man of the Revolution. He was consistently holding caucuses of distinguished men, at which the generality of the measures pursued were previously determined on, and at which the parts were assigned to the different actors who afterwards appeared in them. Patrick Henry at the First Continental Congress said, 'The good that was to come from these congresses was owing to the work of Samuel Adams.' On August 2nd, the delegates gathered to sign a copy of the Declaration that had been written on parchment. As the President of Congress, John Hancock was the first to sign. Then, the delegates turned to Samuel Adams and gave him the honor of signing first among them. They considered Adams the man who had the greatest part in the greatest revolution in the world. John Adams, his cousin, wrote after his death, 'Without the character of Samuel Adams, the true history of the American Revolution can never be written. For 50 years his pen, his tongue, his activity were constantly exerted for his country without fee or reward.' Let's look at what his enemies had to say about him. Massachusetts appointed Governor Bernard labeled Adams one of the principal and most desperate of all the chiefs of the faction. Governor Thomas Hutchinson concurred, calling him the all in all, who needed to be taken off. The governor called Adams' skill as a writer a black art, and said that long practice caused him to arrive at great perfection, and to acquire a talent for artfully and felicitously insinuating into the minds of his readers a prejudice against the character of all whom he attacked, beyond any other man I ever knew." A friend of the former governor commented, "Bernard used to damn that Adams. Every drip of his pen stung like a horned snake." One of the reasons that the British went to travel to Lexington and Concord was to capture Adams and John Hancock. So if the British were willing to risk war in order to capture you, they must think you were one of the most important people to the cause of which they are fighting. I think it's important to consider what one person says of another, but you have to consider the character, life, and reputation of the person speaking. Many of the most important people of the era said that Samuel Adams was the chief architect and instigator of the American Revolution. Maybe it's time to give him more credit than he currently gets.